In this video, watch how he went from this to this to this. What's up everyone, Austin from Prostrap here. Today we're gonna hit with Dominique, hitting with his forehand with the Prostrap. Dominique, tell us where you're from, where you go to school.
I go to school at the University of Arizona and I'm from Calabasas, California.
All right, very cool. Dominique, I don't think he's really even hit with this really, so this is basically gonna be his first time, and you haven't checked yourself out on video yet, have you?
Nope, never.
No, so this is gonna be a fun day. Okay, cool. So we're gonna do a little before, during, and after with the Prostrap. All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go.
Before we do anything, let's acknowledge that Dominique is an excellent player. Not only does he play college tennis, but he's won a few professional tournaments as well. But let's see how his forehand stacks up against the world's best. Again, let's take a look at our forehand checkpoints, which we discussed in our past videos. 1. Spacing. Almost every great forehand has a significant amount of distance between the elbow and the body. 2. Leading with the body. The hips and shoulders begin to fire before contact, with the body leading the swing before the strike of the ball. 3. Shoulder tilt at contact. At contact, the shoulder is tilted into the contact of the ball, with the maximum amount of weight moving through the strike. 4. Shoulder/hip position at contact. The hips and shoulders have already been thrown forward prior to contact, allowing for the maximum amount of force to be thrown through the ball. Now let's take a look at Dominique's forehand and see how it looks. We just hit your regular forehand without the strap, and we're just gonna look at how you look like, okay? So, and you haven't seen yourself really on video very often.
Never.
Okay, so this is gonna be fun. Okay, so here's your normal forehand. Decent, yeah?
Yeah.
Looks pretty good. But now, like right there, we're gonna slow that down. Here's the big thing. Okay, so your shoulder turn is good, but here's what we're looking at right here. Look how tight your elbow is. Look at that. You had no idea it looked like that, do you?
No.
Okay. So what do you think the problem is with that?
Just too close to the body.
Too close to the body. So think of a ratio of body to arm generating the power behind your shot. When you're on all those, on your average forehand, how much of the power behind the shot was coming from your arm versus how much of the power of your shot was coming from the body moving through it? Like what percentage of each?
Like my forehand right now?
Yeah.
Probably more on the arm.
So like what number?
Probably like 70.
70. So you're going like 70-30.
Yeah.
Okay. That's how I know, is because your elbow's right there. What happens then is when that elbow tucks in, is you're now creating like a slingshot motion forward. Now we're going to compare your forehand that you just did to Djokovic, okay? So Djokovic, like you, like, okay, so there's the Alcaraz, Federer, Nadal, the straight arm forehand,
yeah,
where they're completely stretched out. You're going to be more like Djokovic. Djokovic also has a bent arm when he does it. However, you're going to see the difference when he strikes his ball is there. See how much space he has?
Yeah.
Okay. And so what that does is that creates way more leverage. So that means you have a lot more energy potential with a lot less effort. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes
sense. It's like a whip. Okay, if the whip is short versus the whip is long, which one's gonna have more crack to it?
Whip is long.
Exactly. Okay. So that's what we're gonna try and get to today, where we have a little bit more space here. Okay? Make sense?
Yeah.
All right, so let's put we're gonna now hit with some with the strap on and see how you feel.
All right.
All right, here we go. Since they're similar, we're going to compare Dominique's forehand with Djokovic. Step 1, spacing. Dominique has some of the same issues most other players have, and that's having his arm too close to his body. What that means is that he's using more of his arm to generate force than he should. Part of his bent arm is from the Western grip, but Djokovic's grip is similar, and even with the bent arm, he's creating a lot of space. Because of this, he's generating a lot more leverage, getting more power and more spin with a lot less effort. Step 2, leading with the body. Because of that, he isn't getting his hips and shoulders rotating into the ball at the optimal time. However, with Djokovic, we can see his hips and shoulders already leading into the contact before he strikes the ball. Step 3, shoulder tilt at contact. Dominique's shoulders are at an angle, yes, but when I say shoulder tilt, what I mean is they're tilted forward. Dominique's hitting shoulder is almost behind the ball, whereas Djokovic's shoulder is definitely out in front. Step 4, shoulder/hip position at contact. Not only are Dominique's shoulders behind the ball, but the hips are as well. Look at Djokovic and see how much further forward his hips and shoulders are at contact. That shows us that the optimal amount of weight has moved through the ball, generating a lot more force with a lot less effort. Now it's time for Dominique to strap up.
All right, so we just hit with the Prostrap on. Tell me, how did that feel different than your forehands that you were hitting before?
I felt more spaced out, and I just felt like, yeah, I had the ball way out in front and just away from my body.
Okay, cool. And then
Much cleaner.
Cleaner?
Yeah.
What about effort level?
My effort level was like way down.
Way down, okay. But how was your ball?
My ball was like similar.
Yeah.
My effort level was,
Yeah, isn't that nuts? So we're gonna now take a look at what we look like versus the one before. Okay, so here is you, and boom, right off the bat. Definitely more space.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a significant difference than what you were doing before.
Let's take a look at how using the Prostrap compares to before. At step 1, we already see dramatic improvement in the spacing. Again, the arm is still a bit bent, but that's fine as long as he has a good amount of distance between the elbow and the body. At step 2, we see how Dominique's hitting shoulder is already much further in front, leading with his body much more as opposed to his elbow. Now looking at step 3, look at how much his shoulder is tilted forward into the swing. Before, Dominique's chest is very square to the ball without getting the weight behind it quite as much as he could or should. Using the Prostrap, it helps to guide him into that better position, giving him instant physical feedback and letting him know where his body needs to be. Finally, in step 4, not only are his shoulders in the right position while using the Prostrap, but overall he's just much more balanced when striking the ball, with his body in optimal position to create force. Now let's compare Djokovic's forehand to Dominique's forehand while he's using the Prostrap. 1. Spacing. Notice how similar the spacing is to the ball between the two. 2. Leading with the body. Djokovic is leading with the body a bit more, but the improvement on Dominique's forehand is hard to miss as compared to before. 3. Shoulder tilt at contact. Both players have the hitting shoulder tilted forward at contact, showing that they've thrown their bodies into the ball to create a lot of force. And 4. Shoulder/hip position at contact. Again, Djokovic has a little bit more weight moving through the ball, but for his first time using the Prostrap, it's a definite improvement and step in the right direction for Dominique.
Let's hit a couple more, and then we're gonna hit with it off, and then see how you feel.
Okay.
All right, cool. Looking at that previous one with the Prostrap on, you noticed how much further your elbow was out. You noticed the shoulder tilt and all the other things we were talking about. So let's see now, without wearing it, how that compares. Boom.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big difference. Wow, that's a really big difference. That's great. So way more leverage out here. Perfect. Remember we were talking about the shoulder tilt? Now look at that shoulder tilt. That's really good. Okay, so that shows us that now your body is going way more into the ball as opposed to the arm. That's really good. So on the contact, we've got that shoulder tilt here, but also look where the hip is too. See how your hip is fired? Going back to what we were talking about in the beginning, when you felt your arm body ratio, what was it in the beginning?
70-30.
Okay. How did those feel? What was your arm body ratio there?
I felt like almost equal.
Almost equal.
50-50, I think.
Maybe
more with the body.
Maybe more with the body?
Yeah.
Okay. That to get from 70-30 to 50-50, if not even lower,
Yeah.
like that's, how long have we been out here?
Like 30 minutes.
At 30 minutes. So to go from that to that in 30 minutes is pretty crazy. Thinking of your level of tennis, how long normally, without the Prostrap, how long do you think it would take you to learn how to get that much further out and get your body in that position?
Without the Prostrap?
Yeah.
Probably felt like really focused on it. Probably like a couple weeks.
Couple weeks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
couple of weeks. That's a good case scenario. Okay. Couple of weeks, 30 minutes. Pretty ridiculous, isn't it?
Pretty crazy.
And again, how was your ball compared to when you started versus when you were hitting without it?
I had way less effort in my swing, and it's just like a lot more spin.
More spin too.
And I felt just way more loose.
Yeah, that looked really, really good. Would you like that to be your regular rally ball when you play?
For sure.
For sure. Do you feel like you're ever going to miss that?
No. So controlled.
That's really good.
Now let's take a look at Dominique's forehand before and after using the Prostrap. 1. Spacing. The improvement here is phenomenal. He's increased his spacing by over 8 or 9 inches, allowing him to generate way more leverage, therefore creating easy power and easy spin. 2. Leading with the body. Another phenomenal improvement. In the first forehand, we can see just how tucked in his elbow is into his body, showing us that he's using a lot more of his arm to generate the force behind the shot instead of his body. With the second forehand, we can see how much his hips and shoulders have already fired into the ball, creating way more force with way less effort. 3. Shoulder tilt at contact. Again, with the first forehand, his hitting shoulder is much further back, with his hand leading the swing way more than his body. After using the Prostrap, we see that Dominique has his hitting shoulder tilted more forward into the ball, showing us he's gotten a lot more weight behind it. 4. Shoulder/hip position at contact. We saw with the shoulder tilt how the upper body is leading more into the ball after using the Prostrap, but also look at how much more upright and balanced Dominique is. The hips and shoulders are lined up in a much better position, allowing him to throw much more weight behind the ball. Put all of that together and you're one step closer to hitting like a pro.
Okay, so we just got done hitting some forehands without the Prostrap, and we talked about it a little bit there, just saw it. But Dominique, tell me how you felt before, during, and after using the Prostrap.
Well, before I was really not spaced in my forehand, and then while I started using the Prostrap, I felt a lot more space and a lot more loose in my arm. After, I felt like way more loose, and I feel like I improved.
What I saw, and tell me how you felt about it, describe to me your effort level in the beginning as opposed to the end, before and after using the Prostrap.
In the beginning, my effort level was way higher, and towards the end, it was way lower. I felt like way more relaxed and loose.
What about power and spin levels?
It was the same amount of power as I used, like more effort, but like after using it, I used less effort, but achieved the same amount of power and spin.
Awesome, very, very cool. The other thing was, how do you feel that the spacing helped you out?
The spacing helped me out with just like my length of my arm, and when I was spaced out more, I felt like I had more whip on the ball. And
definitely more whip.
Yeah.
We definitely saw that in the before and after, a lot more whip.
Yep.
All right, you guys, thanks for watching. We're gonna have some more videos coming out soon with some more high-level players. If you are interested and you wanna check out a Prostrap of your own, go to www.theprostrap.com. Dominique, thank you.
You're welcome.
See you guys, we'll see you in the next one.